like everything else, is useful in moderation. A good servant, but a bad master. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive because, through excessive thinking, they have lost touch with reality. That's to say, we confuse science with the real world.
So guys, alright, so today we're gonna be watching scary stories. I'm excited. So let's do this.
This story happened to me on a Thursday night, when I was home alone in my apartment complex. I live with my roommate Josh, who was usually out with his girlfriend, so that gave me the luxury of having the place to myself. I was video chatting with 3 classmates of mine on Facebook Messenger. Their names were Eric, Craig, and Cindy. This was my first interaction with them as our professor selected us to be in a group project together. Throughout the night, we brainstormed ideas while getting more acquainted with one another. This is when the story gets a bit weird. Eric spontaneously asked the group chat, "Hey guys, want to see something cool?"
What is it?
"Getting an A+ in this project would be cool." "Sure man, what's up?" Eric sends the group chat a photo. I click the chat icon and see a disturbing image of a woman with her arms and legs missing. What the hell?
Ew! Why are you sending us this?
Dude, where the hell did you get that photo?
I'll tell you, but you guys really need to keep this a secret. Promise me you won't tell anyone.
This isn't marketing related, but okay, I guess.
Sure dude. Please don't tell me you were the sicko who took that pic.
I didn't. I actually got the photo from the dark web.
Dude, you go on the dark web?
What's the dark web?
Supposedly it's this hidden part of the internet where you can buy illegal stuff. I personally wasn't that educated about the dark web, but I did hear rumors about it growing up. I've always acknowledged the existence of these kinds of things growing up, but I was still unaware as to what potential atrocities lie within the online world. Eric then says,
Yeah, I just recently started getting into it. I found the photo from one of the forums I came across called Homemade Dolls. Here's the full-size picture.
He then sends us the exact same photo, except this time it had a description box next to it with the title, Doll Number 20. Why the hell, of all people, did I have to be in a group project with this weirdo? The details in the description stated inhumane acts that can be performed on the victims before being shipped to their buyers. I felt pretty disgusted reading the dialogue, but I was still somewhat skeptical about the whole thing. It was hard to deny its legitimacy, though. The authenticity of the image looked too real to be a hoax.
To be honest, this looks photoshopped.
I don't know, it looks pretty real to me. Dude, that's disgusting. Why do you even go on sites like that?
Well, I only go on it occasionally.
Midway through Eric's sentence, a random user joins the video chat. Who's that?
I don't know.
I swear to God, we better not be getting hacked.
Eric, is this one of your stupid friends from the dark web? I'm gonna call the cops if it is.
That's when I decide to move my mouse cursor to exit the video chat. Why the hell isn't this working? Come on, work, goddammit! My cursor was resisting to move no matter how many times I clicked or moved my mouse. That's when the random user's video turned on. It was a guy wearing a pig mask. The mask didn't look like some dollar store knockoff. It looked like the skinned face of an actual pig. He wore it like he was Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hey, is anybody seeing what I'm seeing? Eric, dude, I really hope this isn't a stupid prank.
It's not, dude. I don't even know who that is.
Why is there a guy wearing a pig mask on my screen?
Guys, what's going on?
I don't know why, but something about that moment, I just knew. I was looking into the eyes of what true evil looks like. That's when my classmate's video chat completely froze. The only screen functioning was the pigman's. It seemed like our computers were being hijacked. I couldn't quite comprehend what was going on till I heard the pigman say,
Can you see me? Say yes if you can hear me. Say it!
I replied with, Yes, what do you want from me? In an uncontrollable stutter.
You know that feeling you get when you're with someone for so long? Every single day just drags and becomes a routine. Well, I just want something new and fresh, you know? Something vibrant that will make me feel alive again. I just need a new doll. What do you say? Does it sound like a brilliant plan to you?
I was
Bruh, I
completely
would've
appalled by
broke
what
that
was
laptop,
transpiring.
bro.
That's when I hear a muffled female's voice in the background. The pigman then swivels the camera towards the direction of the muffled voice, only to reveal a woman with no arms and legs. She had duct tape on her mouth and a chain bound around her neck. The woman was flailing her severed arms wildly in a desperate attempt to escape. A couple seconds later, the pigman approaches her while holding an axe, the kind of axe lumberjacks use to chop down trees. I began to hyperventilate as I knew the inevitable fate this woman was about to endure. He then raises the axe up in the air. I begin screaming from the top of my lungs, "Leave her alone or I'm calling the cops!" As I took my last glance at the woman, I realized that it was the same woman in the photo that Eric sent. That's when the pigman smashes the axe against the woman's skull repeatedly. I practically leap up from my chair and begin to vomit. This sadistic display was unbearable. What the hell is going on? Someone tell me I'm dreaming. There's no way this is real. I look back on the screen, only to see nothing. Like the whole thing was just a bad dream, or a figment of my imagination. What the hell just happened? I know I'm not going crazy. I immediately messaged my classmates in the group chat saying, "Please tell me you guys saw all of that. Did any of you see the pigman? We need to report him." Yeah, I briefly saw him, but then my video chat ended.
Same here. That was weird as hell.
Must have been a hacker. Thank God my screen went back to normal. Did you see anything, Terrence? I respond as nonchalantly as I can, saying, "Yeah, basically what you guys saw. I think it's best that we just put this behind us and move on from here, you know?" I didn't know if that was the right decision. I didn't want to further escalate the situation. Acknowledging the pigman's existence was one thing, but going into further detail about afterwards just felt unnecessary. This is the part where I wish the story ends. It's been a year since the incident. I ended up dropping out and taking the semester off due to the mental trauma I endured. I now work at a local retail store. I was coming home from work one day and I saw an envelope sitting in my mail slot. I open it and discover the most horrifying thing that sends shivers down my spine. It was a picture of my classmate Cindy, except she had no legs and no arms. The picture was titled Doll Number 21.
I remember waking up in a steel cage, locked inside a limitless white room. The room looked like it had no end. Just my bed, the cage, and a swarm of distorted figures surrounding me. There were hundreds of them, and they all looked like they were possessed, like something out of the movie The Exorcist. Where the hell am I? This can't be real. I must be dreaming. I couldn't distinguish whether these people were human or not. But all I can say is that I was overwhelmingly frightened by the over-exaggerated mouths of these creatures. They just kept tormenting me like I was a test subject in a lab experiment gone wrong. Please, stop it. Stop it. What the hell do you want from me? Leave me alone. That's when I closed my eyes and had a nostalgic moment. Almost like I went back in time.
What is that? Bro, what was it moving in his neck?
I remember opening my eyes and waking up to my bedroom.
You're soaking wet.
I can't live like this anymore. My body was dripping with sweat, and my bed sheets were completely drenched. I was honestly convinced that I was living in an alternate reality, trapped in a never-ending nightmare. Taking my prescribed meds really helped with my schizophrenic tendencies, as it would numb down the hallucinations that I experienced on occasion. My parents understood my condition,
Samurai bootios.
but my sister Jenny
What the
didn't.
heck?
Me and her never got along growing up, as she would always tease me about my condition. Well, tease me about my other condition. I also have obsessive compulsive disorder, otherwise known as OCD. I had a disorder where I couldn't touch, taste, nor bear the sight of pineapples. I know this sounds quite bizarre, but it's haunted me throughout my existence. It was a compulsion that I had developed at an early age, and have grown a great deal of disdain for. The tough segmented skin and the pointy leaves was always something I fathom as to why one could think such a thing was edible. I always thought a pineapple was equivalent to eating a porcupine. Just a pointy object that humans have to butcher down to consume. As understanding as my parents were about my condition, I still feel like there was an underlying favoritism towards my sister Jenny. I can tell they enjoyed Jenny's company more, as she was less high maintenance than myself, to say the least. Growing up in the same household as her really made me more uncomfortable than I already was. She would use my condition as fuel for her bullying antics. I remember when I was in school, Jenny would always text me when she arrived to pick me up. The annoying thing was that she intentionally texted the pineapple emoji, as opposed to just texting "I'm here," just to get under my skin. I remember another time where I invited my friend Steven to come over to my place. "Hey Jenny, can you order some food for me and Steven?"
What do you want?
"Anything but the thing you know I don't like. Please?"
How about I get you guys a pizza and 2 drinks? Sound good?
"Yeah, thanks sis."
She gonna get pineapples on the pizza, bro.
"Dude, is that your sister?" "Yeah, why?" "Oh, she's hot. I mean, she's got a lot of tattoos." "Shut up, dude. Stop checking out my sister." "Hey, dude, I was just looking at her tattoos. She seems like a pretty cool person." "You wouldn't be saying that if you lived with her." "Well, I only need to live with her for one night." "Ow! I was just joking, sheesh." About 30 minutes later, the pizza guy arrives and delivers the pizza.
Here you go, boys. Eat up.
I open the box, only to discover a pepperoni pizza
I knew it.
topped with pineapples. What the hell is this? Why did you put pineapples on the pizza?
Just tell your friend to eat the pineapples, duh. All the other toppings sucked.
You suck. I wish you never lived. It's been a couple months since that incident. My hatred for Jenny has unfortunately become far greater as time went on. I was honestly convinced she had a compulsion herself for making my life a living hell. There was this one occasion where the final straw was drawn. I remember watching TV in my bedroom when I see Jenny lurking behind the doorway, holding a sheet of paper. She began waving the paper at me while saying,
Hey Jake, I have 2 surprises I want to show you.
"It'd be a surprise if you moved out, 'cause I'd love that."
Don't be rude. I have a drawing I made for you.
"What is it?" Jenny then reveals a hand-drawn picture of a pineapple with SpongeBob on it. "What the hell is wrong with you? Why can't you stop tormenting me?"
I have one more surprise for you. I got another tattoo.
Jenny then lowers the sheet of paper, revealing a tattoo of a pineapple on her chest.
Surprise!
"Get the hell out of my room, you freak!"
A weird laugh.
I hate her. I hate her so much. I hate her so much. I hate her so much. A couple hours passed by, and it was time to go to bed. I couldn't sleep that night, as my blood pressure felt like it was at an all-time high. I could feel my head throb in pain as I became more irritated with the thought of my sister's existence. Why the hell would she get a tattoo of a pineapple? What kind of sister does that to her brother? It was about 1 a.m. in the morning when I ultimately decided to go to Jenny's room and confront her about her derogatory behavior towards me. While approaching her room, I can hear Jenny's voice subtly echo louder in my head saying,
Surprise!
over and over again.
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
I then open her bedroom door, only to see a pineapple sitting on top of her bed. Is this supposed to be another stupid orchestrated prank? That's when I grabbed a pair of scissors from the top of the nightstand and began piercing the pineapple over and over again, stabbing and
What if it
stabbing
was
and
his sister,
stabbing.
bro? He was just thinking of it as a pineapple.
Good luck sleeping on top of this mess, loser.
What if his sister was the pineapple the whole time? He was just dreaming or something.
Morning, it's time for school. Jenny, wake up. Jenny! Jenny!
I was right. The heck? He's crazy.
What? What the hell? I could have sworn it was a pineapple. No. No. No, no, no. I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. I decided to close my eyes and recite over and over again in my head, "Please be a dream. Please be a dream. Please be a dream." That's when I opened my eyes again, only to see myself back inside a steel cage. I was still in a white room, surrounded by hundreds of distorted creatures. But then my vision started becoming clearer. I realized that I wasn't in a cage. I was in a jail cell. Those distorted figures weren't creatures. They were men in orange jumpsuits. I now remember. I am in jail for the murder of my sister Jenny.
That one was actually creepy, bro. It's not creepy.
This story happened to me on a Saturday night. It happened when I was with my girlfriend, who we'll call Lisa for the sake of the story. I was sitting on my bed watching TV while Lisa was on her laptop working on a school report for her English class. It was due the following Monday, which kept her busy on the laptop for the majority of the weekend. My parents were out of town, so we had the house to ourselves. I'd just like to point out that Lisa and I were polar opposites from each other. I say this because she was a goth who fantasized over dark and morbid kind of things. I was the complete opposite from that. However, our different personalities didn't stop us from pursuing a relationship with one another, as we'd been together for about 4 months now. I'd also like to point out that Lisa was extremely socially awkward if she was talking to anyone other than myself. There was a time where I invited her over to a family dinner with my parents. Lisa was understandably a bit shy at first, but as the night progressed, it turned out to be less awkward than I anticipated. Near the end of dinner, my dad asked Lisa, "So Lisa, if you could have anything in the world other than Jack, what would it be?"
I don't know if I feel comfortable answering that.
What do you mean? What else would you want other than my son?
Harold, stop it! Sweetie, you can tell us only if you want.
I could tell Lisa was getting uncomfortable about the impromptu interrogation my parents decided to have by the look on her face.
Well, it's complicated.
To be honest, I was a little taken back by that statement, as I thought I knew everything about her. I decided to chime in saying, what do you mean, Lisa? Things took a total 180 when Lisa says,
Don't you guys wish you could resurrect your dead loved ones?
Sure, I guess I would.
My family found Lisa quite bizarre since that day, but oddly enough, accepted her for who she was. Fast forward to now, and that statement that Lisa made would all make sense to me. Lisa was tired of the monotony of her report, so we decided to head to the balcony. I remember both of us being out of our minds while gazing out into the horizon. Midway through, Lisa offhandedly makes an odd remark saying,
It would be pretty cool if I could see Todd again.
Todd was Lisa's ex. I found this quite strange that she would say such a thing, considering the fact that we were both dating each other. I assumed she was out of her mind, but sadly that didn't stop me from giving her a piece of my mind. I agitatedly said,
Fine, go see him then. It's not like I ever liked you.
Lisa then gives me a death stare like she wanted to throw me off the balcony. I stare back at her while I casually take another. A long pause of awkward silence occurred, but then I had a nostalgic moment. I remembered Lisa mentioning something about Todd passing away just before we dated. His cause of death was due to undisclosed reasons I won't get into. Everything Lisa was saying all made sense now. She was just expressing that she wanted to see Todd again since he was no longer here with us. I attributed my lack of memory to being in my mind, which helped make the mishap more plausible, so I extend my arm to pass it to Lisa. She then slaps the out of my hand and aggressively says,
He was better than you anyway.
I had gotten into arguments with Lisa in the past, but I could tell she was at her boiling point this time. She then storms out of my place and immediately gets into her car. Despite being wrong in the situation, I stupidly shouted from the balcony saying,
Fine, have fun fishing on Tinder, loser!
She then flips me the bird and begins driving off into the distance. I eventually head back to my bedroom and continue to watch TV. About 5 minutes later, I couldn't help but feel guilty about what I did. I then decide to text Lisa saying, "Please come back to my house. I'm not trying to fight. I also have a free place in in case you forgot." A couple minutes go by and I get no reply. That's when I start becoming more anxious. I kept contemplating whether I should call Lisa, but I didn't want to submit to the fact that I was begging for her forgiveness. I continued watching television. That's
He's
when
one
I
of
noticed
those.
Lisa's laptop sitting on my computer desk. She had stormed off and obviously forgot to take it with her. I noticed that Lisa had left her school report still open on a Word document, so I decided to proofread it, thinking it would be my silly way of apologizing to her. The
Did you?
report
Let
was
us know.
titled,
Oh yeah.
"Be with
You
your
did?
loved ones, even when they're dead." This wasn't that surprising, as I knew the kind of person Lisa was, but it was also disturbing due to the circumstances that had just occurred on the balcony. I skimmed through the report and find Lisa talking about our relationship and how she wasn't internally happy and needed some sort of closure. I became more and more anxious the further I read into the report. She goes into detail about her past relationship with Todd and how she misses him tremendously. As I skim through more of the report, I come across a part where Lisa talks about being able to reconnect with Todd through a satanic blog she found online. To summarize what she said, it basically insinuated that you would have to go to the last spot where the person died and die the same way. That way you'll be able to reconnect with them in the afterlife. I begin panicking and call Lisa's cell phone. She then picks up the phone and says,
What do you want?
in a voice full of disdain and hatred. I try to pretend like I knew nothing about the report and say, "Please come back. I'm sorry about everything that happened. I'm sorry about what I said."
There's no coming back from this, Jack.
That's when I hear the sound of a train honking from a distance. My heart dropped and I yelled, "Lisa, where the hell are you?"
Where I should have been all along.
I could hear the train getting louder and louder, like it was coming with a full head of steam towards her direction. I began shouting,
Lisa, get the hell out of there! Lisa, please, I'm sorry!
desperately trying to stop her from what I knew she was about to do.
Lisa, I'm sorry, okay? Get the hell out of there! Please!
"Oh, Lisa, please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Lisa, please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please come back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was such an awful boyfriend. I'm sorry, Lisa." She then said,
See you again, Todd.
No! No, Lisa!
"Oh, Lisa, please, I'm sorry."
Alright guys, that is the end of the video, because this is not good for my mental state. Just no. Okay. That was creepy. Okay, anyways, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna end it right here. See y'all later.
Like everything else, is useful in moderation. A good servant, but a bad master. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive because, through excessive thinking, they have lost touch with reality. That's to say, we confuse science